Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am sharing my jollof rice recipe with you guys. I'm not gonna do too much talking in the introduction. I'm just gonna get right in the recipe. So I'm starting off by seasoning my chicken with my favorite chicken Maggi that I'm loving right now. This one is I can't remember the name, but I will leave it on the screen because it's written in Chinese words. I'll leave it on the screen. You can screenshot it. You can find this on Amazon. And I am also going to be adding salt. I'm not using too much of spices in the chicken, just pretty basic spices I'm using. I added the Maggi powder and I also added my salt. And also I'm going to be adding some thyme. And I am going to be adding my curry. So my thyme is not Nigerian thyme and the curry is not Nigerian. I usually buy this one from a local Indian store and I love the smell of it. The curry is called Shan. I don't know if you can get it on Amazon, but yeah, it smells like Nigerian curry, you know, Nigerian back home. Curry and thymes are like the best. I love them more than anything. But I couldn't find it anywhere, so I used the Indian one. It smells like the same thing. And I also added my cut fresh onions. And I'm going to be adding some water. I'm adding some water into this to like get broth out of it. If you cook chicken by itself, the broth isn't out enough. So I always like to add water. And I'm going to be giving my chicken a really good stir. You can see my chicken is smoked chicken, which where I bought it from, they already smoked out burned down all the hair, so there's no hair on it. I hate when I'm eating chicken and there's hair in my mouth. It's just very disgusting to me. Some people don't mind, but I just don't like it. So I'm going to cover this to cook until it's very tender. So 45 minutes later, it's hard chicken. So if you're wondering, I use fowl yard chicken. And 45 minutes later I checked it. It's still not completely ready, so I'm giving it a stir to see and making sure I have enough broth in there. So yeah, I'm just stirring it and I'm gonna give it another 10 more minutes because by that time it will be ready. So I'm getting my oil ready in the pan because I'm gonna be frying this chicken. Mind you, I'm gonna fry it halfway and place it in the oven for it to finish. I know some people might not like deep frying. You can air fry, you can put it in the oven without putting in the oil. I personally enjoy fried chicken. Like I said, I'm still gonna put it in the oven to completely finish it up. So I'm going to be placing it in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes on 320 Fahrenheit. Moving on, I am going to be blending my peppers, and I'm using about 5 large bell peppers and also tomatoes as well. The tomatoes that I'm using are plum tomatoes. They're not the big chubby tomatoes, they're just the one that looks like the oval. Those ones are really delicious and they don't have a lot of juices in them, like watery juices. They just have tomato, like the whole thing is just very nice taste tomatoes compared to like the big ones. So if you want your jollof rice to turn out very well, use this type of tomatoes. And also make sure your peppers are completely ripe. That's where you get organic, natural, red looking jollof rice without using any coloring. So, and the reason why I'm using 5 large peppers is because I'm cooking 10 cups of rice. So yeah, I'm taking out the guts of the peppers because it makes your food taste bitter, and also it doesn't give it that color. If you blend the whole thing together, it will not give it that reddish color. So take out the guts. And also I'm going to be using 2 big scotch pepper because I like my jollof rice to be a little spicy. I just don't want it to be like bell peppers and tomato. It has to be spicy. And also I'm going to be using tomato juice, and I'm using the Aurora one. You can use any kind of tomato juice. I'm gonna be using about 1 cup of this tomato juice. Sorry, I take that back, not 1 cup, about half a cup of the tomato juice. And I'm also going to be cutting my onions, and I use 1 large red onions and also 1 tablespoon of ginger, raw ginger. So moving on to my stove, I am going to be cooking down these peppers. I just want the water to dry off a little bit so I can get the natural taste in my jollof rice. So I'm just gonna cook it down for about sorry, excuse me, for about 20 minutes, not more than that. Okay, so the oil that I use to fry my chicken, I am taking a little bit of that oil and I'm gonna be adding butter. You can use any kind of butter that you want, but the one that I love here is basil, and I use about 2 tablespoons. If you're not using butter in your jollof rice, I promise you, you're missing out. You don't know what you're missing. It's so delicious and so buttery when your jollof rice is ready. I'm gonna add my chopped onions. So you can see my onions is pretty big. Honestly, if I wanted, like, if not because of my kids, I would chop them very small. But my kids will like take forever to finish eating when they're picking the onions out because they don't like the onions. So I cut them really big so when they're picking it out, they can see it and take it out right away. So I'm just there frying the onions. Sorry about the noise, my kids are home. So I just want the onions to release its flavor in the butter and the oil. And after that, I'll be adding my thyme. So I am going to also add some crayfish, and I heard a lot of people say they don't use crayfish in their jollof rice. I bet you after you watch this video, start using crayfish in your jollof rice. You're going to love it. It tastes absolutely the best. So once the crayfish and the onions and the butter and the oil and the thyme fry together, I am going to add my blended peppers, and I am going to let that cook for a little bit before I add my tomato paste. And the tomato paste that I'm going to be using is Derica. Nothing beat Derica in jollof rice. I don't use any other tomato paste. Derica tastes absolutely the best, but my friend Tony thinks Derica doesn't taste good. He said it's too salty, it's too biting, which I don't know what that means, but I love Derica. It's one of the best. Some people love Gino. I don't like Gino. I am going to be adding the broth from the chicken. I'm going to add it into it now, and I let that cook for a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna be adding some Maggi because when I added the broth and I tasted it, it needs more Maggi and a little bit of salt. So yeah, you can always taste yours before you add Maggi. As well as I am going to be adding bay leaves, and I'm adding 3 pieces of bay leaves, and I'm gonna let this cook together. Bay leaves in jollof rice is a must. I don't know how people cook their jollof rice without bay leaves. It smells so good. And also I added curry, and I mixed everything together and I let it cook for a little bit, and I'm going to be adding my rice. So I skipped the part I was washing my rice, but I usually wash my rice for about 8 times. Yes, you heard me right. When you're cooking jollof rice or fried rice, you want your jollof rice to taste very good. Make sure you wash it very well. I even use salt to wash my jollof rice to get out all the starch. That's when your jollof rice turn out very nice and fluffy, and you know, not sticking together. So yeah. So now I am going to give it a good mix. I take my time when I'm mixing my jollof rice in the beginning like this. So I want everything to be well distributed. So take your time, mix your jollof rice very well so everything is well cooperated. And of course this is not gonna cook my jollof rice. I need more water, so I'm gonna be adding a little bit of water. It's not gonna cover the whole jollof rice. I just need a tiny bit, and I'm gonna be cooking it on a low medium. Like, I'm going to cover it. You can use foil to cover your pot, but my cover is very secure, so I don't have to use foil to cover it. But if your cover is not secured, use foil over it first before you put your cover on top, so this way it cooked very well. So I'm just gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes straight on a low medium heat. So after 30 minutes I open it, and this is what my jollof rice looks like. It's completely cooked, you guys, and I'm going to give it a good mix. Also, I take my time when I'm mixing it. I tell you guys, my jollof rice did not even burn at all. It tastes so good, and it just thick on the bottom. There's no burn on it, and even the little part that was burned, it's like really soft and you can still eat it, you know, unlike some jollof rice that like all completely burnt on the bottom. No, and that's because I cooked it on a low medium heat. And I tell you guys, my apartment smells so good. The jollof rice turns out so delicious. My family loved it. It finished the next day. So yeah, this is my jollof rice. I'm just gonna let it sit for about 10 more minutes before I serve it, and it turns out so good, so delicious, no burn. It's really delicious jollof rice. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your love and support on my channel. If you're new to my channel, I would love you to subscribe and thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. I just need to show you guys some pictures. Thank you guys, and God bless you guys. Bye guys.